Hello, my name is Robert Fuggi. Just a little bit of background and information about myself before I get into what I propose to go over on this YouTube channel, which is Biblical Studies and Theological Inquiry. I'm an attorney. I have been practicing law for approximately 25 years. I graduated a Regent Law School and have been practicing in the area of trial practice most of my career. I've been named to the top 100 lawyers for the National Trial Lawyers Association. I've been featured numerous times in the New York Times, the Daily News, numerous other newspapers, the Star Ledger, local newspapers, the Asbury Park Press, the Trenton Times, the Washington Post did a special on some of the cases that I was handling. If you're interested in learning more about my professional career, you're welcome to look at our website, which is the Fuji Law Firm, www.fugilawfirm.com. You can go on there and look through, peruse our website, and you can also go on to a section entitled Articles or Publications, and you'll see many of the articles that I have been featured in for the cases that I've handled. And also there's some articles or some essays written by myself as it relates to sexual abuse. We have specialized in representing sexual abuse victims related to institutional abuse of school, churches, and so on. So if you're interested in a little bit about my career and a little bit about what I've done, you can go to the website and you can look at some of those things and understand a little bit more of what I do in a professional level. I'm also a pastor, a founding pastor of Toms River Community Church. I've been there for almost a decade. We started a theological school as part of the church called the School of Biblical Studies and Theological Inquiry. This was started as a field study program while at Princeton, in my studies at Princeton Theological Seminary. I have 2 degrees from Princeton. I have a Master of Divinity from Princeton Theological Seminary, and I also have a Theological Master's from Princeton Theological Seminary. I'm also right now going to be pursuing doctoral work in the area of the American Church. This brings me to why I'm here today, in that I will be starting a series of lectures. Actually, there'll be lectures of me reading chapters from the book that I'm publishing currently, and also some commentary on those particular chapters. The title of the book that we're publishing, which will be available at the end of the summer, is entitled A New Model of the Authentic Church. This book began as part of my master's thesis while I was at Princeton Theological Seminary and developed into a thesis for my theological master's study. So there was a lot of research and time put into this project, which really analyzes where the American church is today, where it's come from over the last several decades, and where it's going. The purpose of the book is to proffer a new paradigm for how I believe the church in America should and can be. It's an objective look at church. Many things in the book are probably problematic to many churches. It really is a book to challenge the way we do church in America today. And hopefully by challenging the way we do church in America today, it could bring change. My purpose of the book is not to disparage anybody or point out the deficiencies in the American church, but rather to analyze them, look at them, and hopefully be able to establish that there needs to be a change. And the title of the book is a new model of the authentic church. And basically what we try to accomplish in the book is to build a model, a practical model of church in America today that can effectively work. It may be a little bit odd to some, the model may be problematic to many, but I believe the model is a workable model. It's a very simple model, but yet it transports us back in time to the simplicity of the gospel as to what it was during the life of Christ and also the life of the apostles. So I'm hopeful that this book will be transformative in America today. The hope is that you will read this book. The hope is that you will act upon this book and then begin a ministry and begin an authentic church. It will surprise you that it may not take much resources or money or finances to begin to start one of these works. And I lay it out in the book in a very practical, very applicable way as to how to begin a ministry, some of the pitfalls of beginning ministry, some of the challenges that you may face in starting a church. It also has a model of how I believe the model of the authentic church should be. It includes theology of what the authentic church should be. It also has some very interesting sections on some of the writing that I've done at Princeton as it relates to what the Christian church owe the Jews. And I think some of those chapters are very enlightening. Also, there's a chapter on the mediation of Moses as compared to the mediation of Jesus, and we'll be able to pick out many of the similarities in both those particular mediations. But most of all, I think it's a book on practical theology. And one of the criticisms that higher education and high theology has is that it can't be read and understood by the masses. And that it's too complicated or too difficult. We can't understand it and then put it into practical effect. I think Princeton has a long-standing tradition of really leading, being one of the leaders in theology and practical theology in America today. And I think that this book is in the line of that Princeton heritage, that Princeton theology that really shapes the American church, but it does so in practical ways that could be understood and then can be applied. So I'm hopeful that as we go through this new model of the authentic church, and what I plan to do is I plan to break it up into sections. I plan to first going through the preface or the introduction, then I'll go through chapter by chapter and I'll read the chapters as part of the channel. And what I may do, in addition to reading the chapters, explain it or stop in midpoint and say, this is what I mean by this, and explain it or discuss it a little bit. So you'll actually be getting more in the channel than you would if you purchased the book. But if you do want to purchase the book, that will be available for you. And I'm hopeful that this book will bring tremendous change to the way we do church in America. It's certainly going to challenge many. It's going to ruffle a few feathers. I think that the teachings of Christ and the parables of Christ and the model that we have from not only Christ but also the apostles and specifically St. Paul are meant to challenge us, challenge the way we think and change the way we live. I believe that there's a time in America today that a church has become so irrelevant. The church has made itself irrelevant from society. I mentioned in the book, and I talk in the first chapter, really, the first chapter is a lot of statistics about church attendance, how church has just been going down, and how there's been this rise of this group called the nuns, not N-U-N-S, but N-O-N-E-S. Nuns, that people that have no religious affiliation whatsoever. And that's a very fast-growing a group. I call it a religious group because they do ascribe to their own religion or their own philosophy, and that is of themselves. And so why is that rising in America today? Why has the church been ineffective in reaching out to all peoples in America, regardless of color, ethnic persuasion, socioeconomic status? Why have we, the church, not been successful in evangelizing our own country and making disciples for Jesus Christ. So this book really has a lot on its plate, but I believe it will be transformational for the American church today. And I hope that you, after this particular introduction, when we get into the actual book itself, I hope you'll follow along with me. If you have questions, you can post questions, and I'll try to answer some of those questions that you have. And ultimately, the book will be available probably by the end of the summer. But I thank you for your time, and I'm hopeful that you will follow a new model of the authentic church, because I think it will change the church in America today forevermore. Thank you, and God bless you.